What up, reader fam? How's it going? I hope it's going super well. It is finally 2017, and today I'm going to be bringing you a list of my most anticipated releases of winter 2017. Instead of just doing one video with all of my most anticipated reads for the year of 2017, I like to do seasonal videos because there are so many books that come out throughout the year that if I jam-packed all the books that I was super excited for coming out in 2017, the video would probably be an hour long. And I wouldn't want to edit that, and I don't think you'd want to watch that. So here we are. The first book on my list is Scar Island by Danja Meinhardt, and it's being released on January 3rd. Danja Meinhardt is like the only middle grade author that I really tend to keep up with. I feel like I always get around to reading his new releases, and this one sounds completely different than his other two books. This book follows a boy named Jonathan who was shipped off to a school full of troubled boys. He's made some pretty bad decisions in his life, and now he's facing the consequences. After getting situated in the school, a freak accident happens, leaving the boys without any sort of supervision. So as you can imagine, the boys get kinda cray-cray. They feel free! They're no longer chained down! But they soon find out that they're actually in danger. I have no idea what this danger entails, but I imagine I'll figure out once I read the book. Dan's books are always loaded with beautiful writing and heartfelt moments, and I can't wait to read this book. This next portion of the video is being sponsored by Disney Hyperion, and this next book is also the Booksplosion Book of the Month for the month of January, and that is Wayfarer by Alexander Bracken. This book is being released on January 3rd, and it's the conclusion to the Passenger duology. Because this book is a sequel, I'm not going to go into what it's all about, because I myself have been avoiding the description because I don't want to be spoiled for this book. And let me tell you, if I get spoiled for this series, I'm gonna arrive at the frustration station and it's not going to be pretty. But I will give you a little bit of an insight as to what the first book, Passenger, is all about. We follow this girl named Etta, and she is a violin prodigy, and one night during one of her performances, she's thrust into this unknown world of time travel. She soon finds out that her family has a lot of secrets. A lot of big secrets, like the fact that her family were time travelers. Anyway, in this whole world of time travel, there's this family called the Ironwoods, and they are after this object that they believe Etta can find. Except for the fact that Etta has no idea what this object is or where it can be found. So she's pretty much screwed because no matter what she knows, they're still after her. I'm super eager to read Wayfarer and to see how Alex kind of brings the story to a close. There were a lot of things going on with the first book, Passenger, and I can't wait to see kind of how it all ties together. It's gonna be great. The Booksplosion live show for Wayfarer will be on February 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Poland Bananas Books channel, so be sure to go and read Wayfarer. If you haven't read Passenger yet, read Passenger, then read Wayfarer, and join us for the live show. The next book on my list is Wind Witch by Susan Dinner, the sequel to Truth Witch, and this book comes out on January 10th. Again, this is a sequel, so I can't say too much about it, but again, I will give you insight on what the first book is all about. Truth Witch follows two girls, Assault and Safia, and the two are thread sisters, meaning they are bound together. I would compare kind of their situation to what a parabatai is in the Shadowhunter Chronicles, if you know anything about parabatai. Basically, they are just linked together, and they live in this world full of different types of witches, and they themselves are witches. Safia is a truth witch, meaning she can tell when somebody is telling the truth and when somebody is lying. And Assault is a thread witch, meaning she can read the moods around her. She's basically a walking mood ring. But let's be real, her ability is probably more accurate than a mood ring. The girls get in trouble with a blood witch, and let's just say you don't want to mess with a blood witch. He will hunt you and he will take you down! And on the other hand, there's a war that's starting to brew within the world. So that adds another element of conflict. I just found Truth Witch to be such a refreshing story in every aspect that it brought to the table, from the world to the characters and the conflict at hand. So needless to say, I am highly anticipating the release of Wind Witch. The next book on my list is History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera, and this book also comes out on January 10th. And you guys are probably going to be mad at me with this one because I'm not going to tell you what it's about, because I myself am avoiding what it's all about. And that's because I pretty much went into Adam's first book more happy than not without knowing anything, and I want to do the same with this book. But I imagine, just like with Adam's first book, More Happy Than Not, that this book has the potential to break me. The next book on my list is Caravelle, I think that's how you say it, and this book comes out on January 31st. This book is being marketed as like the YA version of The Night Circus, and I kind of have an unpopular opinion about The Night Circus. I really enjoyed The Night Circus, but it wasn't my favorite. It didn't like blow my mind like I thought it was going to, because it was so hyped and everybody was talking about it there for a while, and I was like, oh my gosh, this book is gonna be amazing. But then it kind of underwhelmed me a little bit. I still enjoyed it, it just wasn't my fave. But there has been quite a bit of buzz surrounding this book, so I definitely want to give it a go. This story follows a girl who dreams of seeing the show Caravelle, which Caravelle is basically a performance where the audience interacts with the performance and the audience is involved in the performance. When she finally gets her chance to go and see the show, she ends up being kidnapped by the show's organizer and it becomes a part of the show. That's all I know about it, but that alone sounds really interesting, and I can't wait to read this book and to see how everything unfolds. unfolds. The next book on my list is The Edge of Everything, and this book comes out on January 31st. This book sounds super dark and creepy with a little touch of fantasy, and I'm super excited for it. Basically, we follow this girl by the name of Zoe. Her father has been killed in a caving accident, and her neighbors next door have just mysteriously disappeared. Then one night, her and her brother are attacked, but they are quickly rescued by this bounty hunter by the name of X. X introduces these two to this fantasy world called the Lowlands, in which X is tied down to. He's in some way bound to this place called the Lowlands. This book just sounds so epic, and I'm so excited to learn more about the characters, and especially this world called the Lowlands. There wasn't really much in the description about the Lowlands, so I'm really interested to learn what it's all about. It also sounds like there's going to be some interesting storylines that weave together and connect, and I'm really interested to see how that kind of all plays out. And this is actually going to be the Booksplosion book of the month for the month of February. We are working with Bloomsbury that month, so we're super excited to read this book. We don't have a date set yet for the live show, but it'll probably be like late February, early March, around there. Keep your eyes peeled for that date. I'm sure we'll be announcing it everywhere on social media. But be sure to pick this book up on the 31st and join us for the live show. The next book on my list is King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. I'm not going to talk much about this book because it is the third book in this series. I know that not a lot of people enjoy this series and they find it really cliche, and I find it cliche as well, but I still really enjoy it and I still have a lot of fun reading it, so I'm really excited to read this third book and to find out what happens next within this series. The next book on my list is A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. This is the third and final book in the Shades of Magic trilogy, and I'll be honest, I still haven't read the second book, which I need to do that before this third book comes out, but I loved the first book, A Darker Shade of Magic, so I'm definitely looking forward to getting to this point and to reading the final book in this trilogy. The Shades of Magic trilogy takes place in a world full of alternate versions of London, from grey London to red London to white London and to black London, which is kind of the mysterious of the four. We follow Kel, who is a traveler, which means he is able to travel between the different alternate versions of London. He serves as kind of a messenger, delivering messages between the different royals in the alternate versions of London, but he also does some smuggling on the side, which is what gets him in trouble. This book comes out on February 21st, so I've got some time to catch up, and I will catch up, or at least I'm gonna attempt to catch up. We'll see what happens. The last book on my list is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This book comes out on February 28th and is Angie Thomas's debut book. This is a very relevant book right now, and I'm very excited that it's being published because I think this book will be really eye-opening to a lot of people. It focuses on the Black Lives Matter movement, and we follow this girl named Star who witnesses a shooting that takes place. So she's left to relay all that went down with the shooting to the authorities, and her words have a lot of power, but they could also get her killed. I'm really looking forward to reading this book because I know that it's going to be a super important one, and I also just think that this book will bring forth a lot of awareness, and I'm super excited to read it. Super, super, super. I feel like I've said super so many times in this video. I'm sorry about that. I'm just super excited. So those are all the books that I'm highly anticipating in the upcoming months. You guys should let me know down below some of the books that you're looking forward to read during this winter season, some new releases that you're just dying to get your hands on. I'd love to know down below what you're highly anticipating. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. I post videos frequently on this channel, so if you want to be notified for when I post new videos, be sure to go down there and click the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye, chew.